Good morning. It is such a great day to have synchronicity. I am so excited that you have joined us again for Tips and Tea. I am joined with our next guest, who is such a treat to join us here today. I am here with Nia Marshall, and just to give you a backdrop, this was my roommate in the best HBCU in the country, in the world. And even back then, when we were in our early teens, Nia was doing hair, makeup, fashion. She was the go-to person on campus and now has evolved into developing her own skincare, Purpose Butter Skincare, that highlights the Black community. So I'm excited to reconnect with her, to talk with her behind the scenes. We are going to talk about how it all started in room 112, Ashland Hall. That's a hint on where we was going. Nia, good morning. Thank you so much for carving
Good
time
morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So let's just jump right in. Tell us about you and why you became an esthetician.
You know, Shakira, it's funny. I had to think about this question. And one of the things that happened early on, I was one of those young Black girls that their mother put a relaxer
Oh, yeah.
in her hair at 11. And so my mom put a cream of nature relaxer in my hair when I was 11. And as a result, it fell out and it was looking crazy. And at that point, I got introduced to Miss Cindy. Miss Cindy changed my life, and I went to her, and she fixed it. And I was able to go to my fifth grade graduation and be proud. I had the little swoop with the purple glitter, and you couldn't tell me anything. And shortly after that time, I actually started working at her salon, and it was a hair salon. But back in the 90s, she was very popular and she did a lot of hair shows and she was a makeup artist and she was just amazing. And so I got a chance to glean from her and work in a salon and be in that atmosphere. And one of the things that I fell in love with concerning hair and makeup and skincare was when a person got in a chair and when they left, it was a different person. The self-esteem, the confidence boost, and just taking that time out for themselves and even the conversations, because we know hairstylists are unofficial counselors.
Yeah, yes, they are.
Yes. And so I started doing hair first. And Shakira, I was young and
Mhm.
I had women that were high executives in corporations getting their hair washed in my tub and in my kitchen sink. And that just fueled to me the importance of just taking care of people and loving on people and the difference that skincare and makeup and hair could do for a person.
Wow. Amazing, amazing story, right? And just thinking about, people opening up to you and trusting you enough, especially Black women with their hair. That is like our crown. Trusting
Yes.
you enough at such a young age to be able to provide this service and opening their hearts to you, and allowing you to make them feel beautiful, and then you were able to provide that service for them at such a young age. So that is amazing. So Nia, tell us, how do you determine products and treatment programs for your clients?
Well, when looking at products and skincare regimens for my clients, is not a cookie cutter, one size fits all approach. We look deeply into what's going on with the skin, any concerns, any allergies. Sometimes a client may know some of the concerns that they have with their skin, but we go deeper to look at the elasticity of their skin, to look at whether or not their skin is dull, if they have any acne going on, if their pores are clogged. And we go through an entire regimen to see what would be the best routine for them and what we would need to put in place to make sure that we can help their skin along.
Hmm. Really good. Good stuff. Keeping a skincare routine is not only important in the health of your skin, research suggests that it's a springboard for mental wellness. Would you agree with this? Why or why not?
When you think about it, and just in the simplest terms, when we look good, we feel good.
Mhm.
And that sounds cliche. It can, we used to hear it in commercials
Mhm.
years ago,
Was
but
that?
it's true.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah, I think it was if you don't look good, we don't look good or something. That's what
No,
popped in my
no, no, that's not the one. But when you look good, your confidence level is higher, and not in a conceited or in a, above everyone else, but you just feel put together and you feel better about yourself when you look good.
head. Mhm. Really good. Good stuff. Some research suggests that skincare is self care, and that's the act of self love. Why would you say this is true?
As women, and we know men as well, but I can speak for women. um our lives are full. Our
Mhm.
lives are busy, whether you have children or not. When you have your career and you're in a stage where you're grinding to get forward and to make a dream or a vision come into fruition, or if you have children and these children are at a busy age and you're taking them to sporting events and you're taking them to practice and you're doing homework and cooking and all of the things that women do, a lot of times you can forget about yourself and you can get to a point when you look in the mirror and you're like, who is this person that's staring back at me? And to take the time, which it can be, 10 minutes a day, to take the time to set aside, to take care of yourself, to take a moment, to take a pause, it can be life altering. And for some women that I've spoken with, that's the first step in shifting their lives, shifting their focus, shifting their mindsets, and centering on what they need to do to grow forward.
Mm, really good, right? And we always promote self love and trying to figure out what are some of those things that you can incorporate in your day just to love on yourself, right? Sometimes it doesn't mean that you have to go out and get a massage or you have to, do something extraordinary. But as women, just like you said, we're so used to pouring into everyone else and whatever's left over, we try to scrape the bottom of that pot and then pour it into ourselves. Here, we try to shift that narrative and say, love on yourself first, just like they say on a
Mhm.
plane, put that oxygen mask on you first and then on the person next to you. So if you're loving yourself appropriately, then you can truly love and support, those around you. So really, really good information. So, Nia, I want to ask you, can you discuss some of the social stigma around skin conditions?
I have several examples of it. A lot of times when someone has a skin issue, and it's very visual, it can be scary for people that aren't educated on what that skin concern is. For example, eczema runs in my family, and one of my nieces, had it really bad when she was younger, so bad that her skin would bleed and it
Mm,
would crack, and she had to be hospitalized several times. And my brother and her mother tried so many different medicines with steroids and all types of topical creams, the layering method, and nothing was working. And so for her, it was very traumatic. She was a baby, she was young, but her teachers at school, she went to a predominantly Caucasian school, they didn't want to touch her. And it was heartbreaking and heart wrenching. And so it was all types of ignorant mindsets that was attached to it. And not just eczema. We know with acne, we know that that affects someone's self esteem, especially when they have cystic acne and the bumps are bigger. We know when someone has psoriasis, how embarrassing that can be, that their skin is appearing to shed. And so I've had clients that they walked around in the summertime with a turtleneck on, and that's
Mm.
not exaggerating. So you're burning up hot, which is also affecting your skin. And so you're not going to remedy the issue. And so until we get to a point where, we're more educated on some of these different skin issues, and that's just a few, then we can move forward to kind of resolve some of those stigmas.
Yeah, it makes me think about on social media, Kiki Palmer had come out and talked about how bad I think her acne was. And
Mm-hmm.
when she didn't wear makeup, some of the terrible things people would
Yes.
say to her on social media, and just the cyberbullying that went along with her and her skin condition. And it was just, she talked about how hurtful it was, but it helped her to rise above. And other people who was just appalled at the treatment that she was receiving paid for her to get some assistance to get that under control. So it just kind of shows how, like you said, individuals who are not educated, some of the harm that they can do. And Kiki Palmer is in the limelight, so she has the
Exactly.
resources to get some of the support that she needs, and was still very transparent about how going through this skin condition was hurtful, and then the things that were said to her was even more hurtful. So
Mm-hmm.
just education, like you said, is definitely key, and safeguarding our words, being mindful of our thoughts, those type of things when we, because you never know what another person is going through, is very, very important. So thank you for that. Um, so Nia, how can prioritizing skincare and self-care, how can that be good mental health hygiene? What would you say to that?
Well, first, one of the things that I've learned through the years is a routine builds discipline. And when you are disciplined, even in one area, it starts to shift other areas. And something as simple as having a skincare routine can affect other areas of your life. And it can affect, how you approach eating. It can affect how you approach, working out or taking care of yourself in that way. But it's very important, and it's all interconnected. If I'm disheveled and I'm suffering in depression, a person will tend to let their hair go and not get a haircut, not comb their hair, or let their hygiene go and not wash as often because they have that mindset. What's the point?
Mhm.
Or I, it- and of course you can attest to this because of the amazing work that you do. But just that depression can weigh on a person so heavily that it hurts to
Mhm.
even try to attempt to do some of the simple tasks. And so, for some clients that are facing depression or facing different mental health issues and concerns, one of the things that uh, we try to work with them and do, aside from, of course, recommending to go get additional help and assistance, is start with small tasks.
Mhm.
A simple, wash your face, do a toner, a moisturizer, and just start there. And then you can build on it. But just those simple tasks of combing your hair when you feel sad and when you feel heavy, combing your hair and getting your hair done, it makes a difference. You see it with women, but you also see it with men. Because when you see a man that's looking heavy, and there's some amazing barbers out there now that actually show their work on social media, but you see the guy come in, and some people, they make jokes about it, but you see that they're heavy, they look just sullen and so just overwhelmed. And once that haircut is complete, it looks like a different person, and they're beaming. There is something shining through, and it's the same with women. Those little things, it means so much.
Definitely, definitely good advice, right? Chicken soup for the soul. And so piggybacking off of that a little bit, how much time would you suggest a person spend on their skincare routine? What would you say?
So I would say it's a lot of information out there. It's a lot of products to select from. And once you get a routine down, it's something else that comes out. And some of the influencers, it's hilarious. Some of the things is funny, but it's not funny. But some of the the products and the concoctions that people,
Mhm.
the science projects that people are coming up with for their skin. But I say keep it simple. Start and keep it simple. Um, Sometimes you do have to go to a dermatologist when you have some major issues going on, and it's good to keep that a part of your routine. But on a daily basis, in the morning, 5 to 10 minutes, wash, moisturize, put sunscreen on, and then do your makeup if you wear makeup or go about your way. There are also different serums and face oils that could be used as well that are beneficial. But if you keep those basic principles in effect, then you'll be in good shape. On 1 to 2 times a week, I do recommend doing a mask, depending on what your skin type is and what some of the concerns are, and also exfoliating with a micro exfoliator. That's important too to keep your skin bright. But outside of that, you don't need to spend hours on your face every day. That's just not reasonable, especially when you live a busy lifestyle.
Information. And so, thinking about that, Nia, how would you say skincare is directly correlated to self image?
Well, with skincare and self-image, when you see a person that is put together, and we're visual people, we know that the beauty on the inside is what matters and that exudes outside, and we know that that is just beautiful. We know that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We know that Jesus loves us all. We know all of that. We welcome it. We know, all of these things. And we also know that as people we're visual. And we know the difference between when you come in contact with someone that has visual skin issues and someone that has glowing, beautiful pores look like they just came out the womb and just beautiful, beautiful skin. Um, when you take care of your skin and when you take care of yourself, it just it it makes a difference when you're going into interviews, when you're going into new settings, when you're meeting new people. You're more inclined to have your shoulders back and your chest up a little more, as opposed to when you're facing those issues.
Good, good stuff. Thinking about stress, how would you say stress affects your skin?
Stress is not our friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's not our friend in any way. One of the things that we definitely have to make sure that we figure out ways to deal with our stress. We all have stress. I don't care how successful you are, I don't care at what stage in your life, we all deal with stress at different times. I was telling you before we started some of the challenges that's going on with my beautiful children.
Mm-hmm.
But stress is a killer. Stress presents in so many different ways. I remember a few years ago, I was at work. I was at my corporate job, and my left side started to tingle. And because I'm stubborn, I thought, okay, it's going to go away. My left side is just acting weird, but it began to progress. And I called my husband at the time and I said, I don't know what's going on. And he said, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want to go straight to the hospital? I said, no, it's going to go away. Needless to say, I didn't go right away, and the pain didn't go away, the numbness didn't go away. And when I went to the ER, they thought that I had a stroke.
Oh my
And
God.
yes, they thought that I had a stroke, and they kept me. It was one of the scariest times of my life. And um, during that time and through the testing, the test kept coming back normal. And I remember it was a an Indian doctor, and she came in and she said, Nia, we ran all of these tests and they're coming back normal. And she said, I can tell you from experience that this is stress and this will kill you.
Mm,
And if you don't do something to manage your stress levels and take care of yourself instead of putting everyone else ahead of you, you're going to be taken out of here.
mm,
And I share that story because that's how serious stress can be. And it's not something to take lightly. And so with your skin in particular, it comes out as acne. You have hormonal breakouts, you have hives that come out, you have redness and rosacea that can come from stress. You have it's so many different skin issues that are a result of stress and different health challenges that stem from stress. So managing our stress is extremely important. Taking that time out to meditate, taking that time out to slow things down, to count, to have a conversation with a professional such as yourself.
mm,
Whatever you need to do, you have to do it to manage that stress because not only for your skincare, but for your life.
mm. Yes, thank you for sharing that. I'm so in love with that testimony, right? And what you shared is just so true on how that stress can manifest in our body, and something that is so well, it seems to be so mental can take a physical attribute and start to wear you down and break you down. And I tell my clients all the time, your body will let you know, right? You
Sure
keep pushing
will.
yourself to the limit, your body will tell you enough is enough. So either you're going to stop or your body's going to stop you. So I'm so grateful that you pulled out of that situation with some knowledge and some education, and with that fortitude to know that I have to put myself first in order to be here for everyone that I love and that loves me. And so thinking about that, Nia, what stress reduction techniques do you currently utilize?
Well, my husband teases me because I started, I worked out before September, but I actually started more so bodybuilding, not so I can get big, but I noticed that I love the joy and the pain of working out. It's bizarre, but I love it. It sparks my creativity. It allows me to release that aggression, and it just the discipline of it is it's been so helpful for me. And I also journal and I meditate a lot to keep myself centered, and I pray.
Yeah.
Those are some of the things. And of course, spending time with family and friends, and I love to laugh.
Mm,
Um, but those are some of the main things that I've found that keeps me balanced out and keeps things in a good place.
good. Good tips. Thank you for that. So what else? What else would you like to share with us? What else would you like to tell us that we haven't covered this morning? How can we find you and make sure that we get some of that purpose butter skincare? Let us know what else would you like to share?
I would say, in order to maintain a balanced skincare and the health of your skin, there's a few things that you want to put in place. And one is, of course, putting that skincare routine in place. And uh, of course, going to a dermatologist or going to go get a facial and going to an esthetician periodically. The other thing is, it all starts as well with nutrition. What we put in our bodies matter. And if we're eating a lot of fatty foods and we're not balancing out with fruits and vegetables and enough protein for your particular body, and we're doing too much junk food, everything throws unbalance with your gut. And if your gut is off, everything else is going to be thrown off. So that's something that's important. And the other thing is that helps your skincare and balance and is minding your business. That
I love
that
it.
helps tremendously. Minding your business, meaning staying in your lane, but also minding your business on what were you put here to do? What are your passions? What are your dreams? What are your what is your purpose in this world, and seeking to find what that is. And if you know, focusing on that, then it keeps so many different areas in perspective and in balance. Um, my business, as you stated earlier, is Purpose Butter Skincare, and I dream up different solutions for skin issues. And clients come to me, and every once in a while, it's something that's like, huh, okay, this is something that's different and unique. And so a lot of the products that I do use professional grade uh, ingredients and products. And I also make products as well, because sometimes it's something as simple as rosehip oil or evening premise oil, or if someone is having an inflammation and I need to calm it down immediately. Aloe vera gel and lavender oil that's kept in a cold refrigerator can calm it down expeditiously. And I try to come up with solutions that are personalized. And currently, I do have several products um, that I've gotten a lot of positive testimonies in different forms. I had someone that used the skin butter on her husband's feet, and he had really bad diabetes, and the medicine wasn't working. And she said that the inflammation went down, and she was just amazed. My niece that I told you about earlier, that her skin was bleeding, the butter soothed it, and that was the only thing that worked for her. And just so many different skin issues. That's one of the rewarding parts, is when I can see the effects of my efforts and my work, and what it takes to take care of those issues. And currently, I have several exclusive clients that I take, and I just enjoy doing what
Yeah.
I do.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This was like coming home and having a really good meal. It was so good to spend some time with my roomie, my beautiful roomie, the first person I lived with outside of my mother, and just taking the time out this morning to enlighten us and share all the tips and all the tea on skincare and your purpose butter skincare and just mental health and wellness, and sharing your information with us. So I'm really humbled that you spent some time with us today. My wish for you, my goal for you, is to continue to be brave, be magical, and above all else, be well. Thank you so much, Nia Marshall. You have a
Thank
good
you. Thank you.